In all of Zelda, many people enjoy more things than others. Combat over puzzles, graphics over game quality, bosses over dungeons. Today I'm going to talk about dungeons, the top 10 of all Zelda games. By the way, this is my opinion of all dungeons, so if you can have your own opinion. Anyway, number 10. The Sand Ship. The Lanayru Desert was once a great sea. Using a motorboat with a built-in timeshift stone, Link is able to sail through the desert on the water that was once there. He finds a galleon that sailed the sea in the past and boards it in search of Nehru's flame. This is Nehru's flame. Ancient robots once guarded the flame, but it has been taken over by pirates. Link finds the bow here and uses it to operate the ship's massive timeshift stone. Before he can upgrade his blade to the goddess Whitesword, he must first do battle with a tentacle-like monster, Tentalus. The reason I put this dungeon so low is because of the boss. It's terrible. I'm not lying. When I first saw a picture of it, I thought it was a joke. But the idea of a tentacle-like monster destroying a giant ship in the desert is a pretty neat idea, so that's why I put it on my list. Next, number 9, Eagle's Tower. A giant tower in Tal Tal Heights. Tricky puzzles changed the layout of this dungeon, and at one point, smashing the pillars will reverse the floor from the floor above down a level. The mirror shield is found here, and to make it out of the dungeon successfully, Link must reach the top and do battle with the evil eagle. As I said, you have to smash columns to beat the dungeon, and it is a huge pain. Yet I must confess that it's extremely satisfying, and the boss is not bad. Next, number 8. Hyrule Castle Tower. After pulling the Master Sword from its pedestal in the Lost Woods, Link journeys to Hyrule Castle to fight Aghanim. He battles through giant corridors, along with narrow ones, and eventually meets Aghanim. The fight is terrible. Aghanim can shoot beams of light against Link and electricity. You have to watch out for his attacks though, as they may vary. But why is this my 8th favourite dungeon? Well, I have played the game myself and I enjoyed it a lot. It wasn't too difficult and there are no puzzles, and it feels good to bust in and crush Aghanim in a 1v1. All the boring dungeons are done. Time for some action though. Number 7. Shadow Temple. Beneath the graveyard in Kakariko Village lies the Shadow Temple. This is a terrible dungeon filled with dark, dangerous traps, along with terrifying monsters. This dungeon is without a doubt one of the most darkest ones, and is used by the Sheikah, or at least was used by the Sheikah, to torture and capture enemies who are thought to oppose the royal family. To finish the Shadow Dungeon and battle Phantom Shadow Beast Bongo Bongo for the Shadow Medallion, Link must gain the hover boots that allow him to glide past various platforms. Number 6. Moon Dungeons. After surviving the Stone Towers Temple, Link and Tattle return to Clock Tower only to be swallowed by the moon from the top of their perch at the tower. Link finds himself in an alternate reality, but at first things seem peaceful inside the moon. A large tree blossoms in the middle of a giant meadow, and he must do hide and seek with the masked children. After surviving all 4 dungeons and trading in his mask for the entry of each dungeons, Link obtains the Fierce Deity mask. He then battles 3 incarnations of Majora's Mask: Majora's Incarnation, Majora's Wrath, and Majora's Mask. Number 5. Snow Peak Ruins. A Yeti couple, Yeto and Yetta, live in this ice-covered mansion that lies just beyond Snow Peak. A shard of the Mirror of Twilight has made Yetta ill, and Yetta sends Link all over Hyrule in search of ingredients for a soup to make her feel better. While exploring the ruins, Link finds the ball and chain, a powerful weapon. After finding the bedroom key, Yetta accompanies Link to his bedroom, where she turns into Twilight Iceness Blizzetta. I love this dungeon a lot, as the Blizzetta music that is played during the fight is great, and also the layout of the dungeon is impressive too. At least they had a happy ending. Number 4. Hyrule Castle. After freeing all 4 of the Divine Beasts, Link ventures to Hyrule Castle. On the outside of Hyrule Castle are multiple guardians. On the inside of Hyrule Castle are terrible monsters and a lot of malice. Link can find the Royal Guard weapons there, which can be used for a side quest, and after reaching the top, battle the Calamity itself, as well as the Hatred and Malice Incarnate, just a casual Dark Beast cannon, definitely not terrifying. Number 3. Color Dungeon, Link's Awakening. After moving the Color Dungeon's gravestones in a certain order, Link ventures into the Color Dungeon with a lot of color-themed puzzles. After battling through the dungeon, Link finds himself as a fight against the hard-hit beetle. After clearing the dungeon from its hard-hit beetle, Link goes into a room with a fairy queen. She asks for either the powerful red male or the sturdy blue male. Link can choose either or neither, but I would recommend going for the blue male, as it definitely helps in the dungeon fight. Number 2. Ancient Cistern, Skyward Sword. Link finds himself in a very beautiful water dungeon located outside of Lake Floria's waterfall. Underneath the dungeon is a dark, mysterious swamp filled with what we can assume are pools of malice. Link finds the whip here and can use it to launch himself to multiple platforms as well as solve many puzzles. Link fights Kolokotos, which is located at the very end of the dungeon. Fire uses Faur's Flame to upgrade the blade to the goddess Whitesword. Even though the Ancient Cistern is one of the most mysterious dungeons, it's definitely one of the best in all of the Zelda series. Now it's time. The best dungeon, in my opinion, in all of Zelda, number 1. Number 1. Palace of Twilight. The Palace of Twilight looms large in the Twilight Realm. Link reaches it after assembling the Mirror of Twilight and passes through it. Dark fog is scattered everywhere, and within contact will turn Link into a wolf. After obtaining the power of the soul from the heart of the dungeon, Link is able to upgrade the Master Sword and infuse it with light, allowing him to cut through the dark fog. After a battle with the Usurper King's aunt, it is time to face Ganon. The puzzles are great in the Palace of Twilight, and the monsters are almost unopposed. This means that it is definitely my first favourite Zelda dungeon. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to see you soon and sign off now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I am Hytopia, and I am signing off.